a sporting smorgasbord in Melbourne today. We've had first-class cricket, the Australia Women's Open golf, the Grand Prix with a Michael Schumacher hat-trick, now the second game of football for the day. Hello everyone and welcome to this final match in the Wizard Cup round-robin series. Tonight at Colonial Stadium, it's Collingwood up against the Kangaroos. Now, mathematically, the Kangaroos can still make the finals of the Wizard Cup, but I think, Robert Walls, it's something like 20 goals they're going to win by tonight, which is nigh on impossible. But I guess both coaches will be looking at the bigger picture.
I'm sure they will, Stephen. I think that they're both veteran coaches. They know what it's all about. They'll want their players to, the young players in particular, to get game time, and I'm sure they'll experiment with the positioning of players. It's a great opportunity to do that. At the same time, both competitive men, and they'll be anxious to get a win.
Well, another feature we're going to introduce tonight is called Red Alert. Now, Robert, this is your baby. You've been working with it with the production team over summer, and back in the good old days, when you were a coach, you used it as a tool.
I don't know if they were the good old days, Stephen, but Red Alert, it's something new, and we will use it tonight. When I was a coach, it was important that you knew who was playing particularly well for the opposition. So what it means is that in a 10-minute period, any 10-minute period during the game, if a player gets 6 possessions, well, obviously he's playing really well. And it's important as a coach that you are aware of that. So when I was coaching, I'd have a statistician who would just tap me on the shoulder and he would say, John Platten's just got his 6th touch in the last 10-minute period. Now, as a coach, you have to respond to that because you can't let a player just run rampant out there. And we'll watch it tonight because I'm sure it'll happen 2 or 3 times when Red Alert comes up, and we'll see whether the coaches react and make a positional move.
That's it there, Robert. Red Alert, Nathan Buckley, 6 disposals in the last 10 minutes. That's what you'll see on the screen. Generally, did you make a move then?
Oh, usually you did, because you can't let 6 run into 8 or 10 or 12 and then the quarter's just blown away. So it was just a good reminder that, hey, there are so many things a coach has to think about, and sometimes you can let it slip because you're thinking about your own players or a move. But we'll watch that one tonight, and I'm pretty sure that the coaches will react when they find that out.
Here's the Kangaroos team. No Carey and no John Blakey, the 2 most experienced players in this form of the game, the pre-season competition, but still some great names there.
Yes, they're the most experienced team in the AFL. They're the oldest list in the AFL, but they've got some stars, of course. But good to see new blood. And John Baird in the back pocket. He played with the Box Hill Hawks last year. Big, strong boy. He'll do pretty well. And then the other 3 lads down the bottom there, Porter from Carlton, Burke from Richmond, and Robbins from Brisbane. I think they'll be very good for the Kangaroos because they've just got that nice blend of experience, 50, 60, 70 games up, and with your second chance and maybe your last chance, you've got to give it everything.
Jared Waitley is with the assistant coach of the Kangaroos, the former Magpie star, Gavin Krasiska.
Well, thanks, Quarters. Gavin, have you done the sums on what it'll take to make the semi-final?
No, we haven't actually. We know we need a big win. Look, we just need to have a decent win tonight and let that sort of stuff take care of itself. So,
is there momentum to be gained 3 weeks out from round 1?
Look, I think so. I think we've lost 2 quarters in 2 games so far. So if we can win 4 quarters tonight and win the game, that'll be a positive for us for the Wizard Cup.
And no Carey and no Blakey. A bit of freedom to experiment, is there?
I don't think we'll experiment. I think we want to stick to the basics and stick to our game plan and so forth. But it gives a few young guys an opportunity to perform well.
Good on you, Gavin. Good luck.
Thanks, Joe.
Gavin Krasiska. As we now switch our focus onto the Collingwood team. No Scott Cummings tonight, Robert. He's a late withdrawal with a leg injury, but they've good to see Malloy back.
Yes, Malloy comes in for his first game this year, and he had a terrific year for the Pies last season. Some new blood there. Jason Cloak, son of David. I've seen Jason play since he was 11 or 12, just a kid. He will be a terrific AFL player as the years go on. Andrew Hill on the back flank. He's from the Wangaratta Rovers. Potsy Ardley. I saw him play last week. He's tall. He's a left-footer, got a good football brain. And Guy Richards down there, 200 centimetres tall, from the Eastern Ranges. No doubt he'll do some ruck work tonight.
Let's hear from Collingwood coach Mick Malthouse.
Oh, we'd like to win, and in fact we'd love to win. We need a win for a bit of confidence, but we won't neglect the fact that we also want to bring in some young players and see how they go. We're going to bring in a young man from up around the Murray, Andrew Hill, and he will play his first game today with the club. So we've got the availability of putting 2 rookies on our list, so that's why we're having a close look at these players tonight.
Well, another feature we introduced last week, Robert, was Cyber Coach. Now, it's a chance for you at home to get involved during the game live. We've had a lot of feedback, and the coaches now, Robert, don't have to wait to open the mail on Monday morning to get the advice.
No, Cyber Coach, it's a great idea because questions will be posed through the course of the game, and everybody at home has a chance to give their opinion. And it's always nice to give your opinion in football, and Cyber Coach will be operating tonight. Might even ask a few questions about star players like Nathan Buckley and Mickey Martin.
Well, the coaches are already starting to feel the effect of Cyber Coach. Peter Schwab responded to this question last week.
thought he's clearly the best player on the ground.
Cyber coach reckon he shouldn't be a firm.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to play him everywhere, but...
Cyber coach. Now, if you want to get involved, may I stress, get involved when you're watching the game live. There's two ways you can do it: on the internet with afl.com.au, or you can get on the mobile phone the SMS text message on 0428 235 836. About 2 or 3 times we'll be doing it tonight. And, well, you always get advice, but usually only when you lose, Robert.
Well, I remember when I coached, Stephen, the letters would be plenty come Tuesday, Wednesday after you'd lost. When you won, not so many. Cyber coach, I'm sure he'll give an opinion tonight.
We'll take a break. When we come back, it's the Collingwood team up against the Kangaroos. Welcome back to Colonial Stadium. It was almost the Three Stooges routine in a game here last year, as I say hello to Michael Christian.
Good afternoon, Quartus. And yeah, a bit of putting on the after show from Carey and Buckley. Certainly a lot of feeling between these two clubs, and tonight should be a very entertaining game of football.
That all you can do in footy these days is a bit of slap and tickle.
Well, I'm surprised actually they got away with doing that much, because it's a very fine line that they've been treading.
Here's the group standings in this group. Sydney through to the finals. Kangaroos, as we said, can mathematically make it, but they've got to win by 100 goals just about. But anyway, it looks like Sydney through, and Collingwood and Kangaroos playing for pride. Let's go down to the boundary line now. Jared Waitley is with a very proud former Richmond and Collingwood champion, David Cloak.
Yes, Quarters, David, you must be proud when you see Jason running around in the black and white.
Yeah, look, it's good that he's been able to get to something he's wanted to do for a number of years, and I think he's got the opportunity again tonight to show what he can play, and he really enjoys it.
There's a couple of Kangaroos blokes still running around that you played against.
Yeah, that's right. I was just looking at before, Mickey Martin and Glenn Archer, a couple of boys out there I played against, and now they're playing against Jason, so they're probably starting to think they get old as well. So that's the way it goes. It's good fun.
Good on you, David. Keep the nerves in check.
No worries at all. Thanks a lot.
David Cloak down there, what a great player he was, and a very proud dad, as he should be. And you'll start to feel your age, Robert, when you see the sons of former champions playing.
Oh, absolutely. But I mentioned Jason Cloak before. He played with Park Orchards under 12s and under 13s and 14s. In fact, all of David's and Julie's boys played out there, and they've got some terrific talent, these youngsters, and Jason in particular. I saw him play last week across half-back. I thought he was really good.
So ready for a start here, as I said, the final match of this round-robin Wizard Cup. Collingwood up against the Kangaroos at Colonial Stadium. In the first ruck, it's McKee for Collingwood up against Porter for the Kangaroos. Porter got the first knock beautifully to Shannon Grant, who immediately puts the Kangaroos inside 50, but Nathan Buckley by himself marks unopposed, and he's off and running as Buckley goes to the outer wing, and the kick's good. He finds Patheris.
Buckley was spare in defence at the first bounce. Archer was spare in defence up the other end for the Roos.
Patheris just goes short as Collingwood work the ball forward. There's Burns. Hot on his hammer was Archer. And we have a throw-in.
And Jared Malloy, Mick Martin is opposing Jared, and that'll be a pretty tough test for Mick because Malloy covers a lot of ground.
Ball at half forward for Collingwood. McKee takes it. He'll need to get rid of it quickly, and he's been pinged because he took the ball out of the rut and didn't deliver quickly enough. The kick was poor coming from Motlop, and Kinnear has marked. Too far out to score early on in this game at Colonial Stadium. Collingwood and the Kangaroos. Kinnear kicks short, Tarrant on the lead and delivers beautifully.
John Baird's his opponent, Michael. Baird, of course, is the youngster from the Box Hill Hawks, and I think that's terrific coaching by Dennis Pagan. We all know that Chris Tarrant is on the verge of being a star in this game, so Baird, he'll find out what it's like to play on a class player.
From 45 metres, drop punt is across the face and through for a behind. Of course, Chris Tarrant was kept goalless last week in the match against Hawthorn by Joel Smith, and he'll be looking for a big return to form tonight.
Maggies have got Patheris in their forward line, so too Leon Davis and Podsey Ardley, the new boy.
David King to bring the ball back into play for the Kangas. One of the real experienced players and most decorated players in the Kangaroos lineup. Bangs it long. Kick travels about 55, 60 metres. Colbert got up in front but couldn't hang on to it. And we'll have a stalemate here and a all up.
And Rob, interesting, Jason McCartney starting up in the forward line for the Kangaroos, and Jason Cloke, who's played the first 2 games of this Wizard Cup mostly in the forward line for the Magpies, is lining up in defence.
Well, again, we mentioned before that it's good for the coaches to do some experimenting at this part of the season. McCartney, I'm sure, would enjoy the freedom up forward.
Harvey for the Kangaroos. He's put it out on the full, and it's a free kick to Collingwood, smack bang on centre wing. Brent Harvey, his younger brother's also playing now in the AFL with the Bombers.
Mark Richardson at half-back playing on Sav.
Kick comes to half-forward, big pack of players at ground level. Kinnear couldn't quite control it. Harris, Cochrane, and now Archer. Left foot kick to half-forward, and McCartney has marked on his chest and dragged down by Jason Cloke, and lucky not to be penalised. In fact, he is. Well, Rob, you just can't drag a player after he's clearly taken the mark, as Jason Cloke did on that occasion.
And particularly in the first minute or 2 of a game, umpires want to show that they're in control, and he'll learn from that. I've got no doubt that Mick Malthouse, he'll send a message out at some stage.
I think Jason hasn't been too well done with the 50 metres. It looks about 30. There's McCartney there, and you can see Cloke just manhandling McCartney after he'd clearly taken the mark. Good umpiring by umpire McKenzie. So McCartney now, 40 metres, drop punt, and I think he may have just missed. He has. So 2 opportunities to both sides in the early part. Go begging. 1 point apiece. We've played 4 minutes.
Buckley started in the back 50. He's now in the forward 50 for the Magpies. Adam Simpson is running as his tag.
Lockyer brings the ball back into play. He's found a loose teammate in Lucuria, the best and fairest winner last year for the Magpies. The Copeland Trophy, they call it, at Collingwood. Lucuria's decided to go back the other way. So has a couple of bounces, and his kick is over the head of Tarrant. So there's a chance for the Roos to gain possession. Gathered here by Baird. His kick smothered by young Andrew J. Hill, as distinct from Andrew R. Hill. Jared Waitley on the boundary line. Can you explain the difference?
Yeah, Andrew J. Hill is known as Wanger around the club without exception, and Hilly is Andrew R. Hill. And obviously, Wanger comes from Wangaratta, so it's as simple as that.
Thanks for that. It makes it harder, I reckon.
And Nathan Buckley has now gone to the goal square for the Magpies. He started across centre half back. Adam Simpson's with him back there. You can see in picture Buckley in the goal square. Played about 180 odd games, Buckley, and kicked the same amount of goals in his career.
Harris kicks it forward to centre half forward. McCartney comes to Jones, 45 metres, wanted a handball, then kicks and misses. Little indecisive there, Corey Jones, and in the end, perhaps should have handball. Behind to the Kangaroos, they advanced to 2 points. Collingwood, 1 behind.
Lee Colbert playing across half-back for the Roos on Podsiadly. Really like to see Lee Colbert have a good season. He's such a brave player, been knocked around with injuries. Of course, he left Geelong when he was captain. It's about time it went his way.
Lockyer's kick in is very dodgy. Here's a chance for the Kangaroos. Pickett makes Lockyer pay for the first goal for the Kangaroos. Well, Lockyer last year did a lot of the kicking out, but occasionally he was involved in a clanger or two, and he's paid the price here.
Be disappointing for the young fellow because he's given those kick-in duties because he is such a good kick. I saw his game last week against the Hawks, and he hit the target every time, but he started on the wrong foot tonight.
Kangaroos interchange bench.
David Burke in the middle of the huddle. Spider Burton there as well.
First blood to the Kangaroos. Archer tries to crash his way through the pack. Grant, King can't get a clear possession out of the centre of the Kangaroos. Big pack of players. Burns, good interception from Harvey. High towards the goal square. Sinclair almost. Now a chance for Pickett. Handball to no one in particular. Cloak. Soccer off the ground by Cochrane is through for a goal. Second on the board to the Kangaroos. So 2 quick goals to the Kangaroos. The 2-2-14 Collingwood one behind.
Ball kicked long to a dangerous spot. Jess Sinclair gets in front. He can't mark it, but the ball spills to the front, and Byron Pickett in a perfect spot there gets his handball away. Cochrane's clever enough and quick enough to get a boot to the loose ball. A little bit of luck, but he made it.
Two goals for the Kangaroos. They lead by 13 points, 2-2 to 1 behind. As back in the middle, it's Porter against McKee. Give that one to Porter. There's King. Fed out the handball. Coming through hard there was Davis. That's Leon Davis, and he has been pinged for holding the ball. Had a great pre-season, has Leon Davis, wearing the #1 for Collingwood. Caught on that occasion as Grant gives a little dish to Harvey. Good pressure, though, by Davis. Almost forced a turnover. Archer. He's got a loose player on the wing, and that's where he kicks to Baird. So Baird on centre wing, drills it long. Rock has got the set, takes a beauty. And that'll make Collingwood supporters just feel even a little bit more sick. The former Magpie star has taken a beautiful hanger about 25-30 metres out.
And it'll make John Baird feel particularly good too, and there's about 6 or 7 Kangaroos gone to the centre to congratulate him. What Baird did was take the ball on the wing, and he kicked it long to a dangerous spot. And Sav would have loved being 3 or 4 back, and he could use his bulk, his experience. He had the run in, put the knee in the back, and he was able to take a hanger. And it's a terrific start for the Kangaroos. And
He's blown a bit hard there, Sav. He's worked pretty hard to get up, I guess.
It was a magnificent mark from Sav. 7 times he's been his team's leading goal kicker, including last year. He's directly in front. And Sav has drilled the Kangaroos' third. So the Kangaroos lead by 19 points, and they are well and truly off to a flyer.
And we see Baird coming down the wing. He had plenty of time, but then he's gone for the long kick to a dangerous spot. And that's something that the Kangaroos have done for the last 10 years, of course, with Wayne Carey being the one that they aimed the ball at. And Sav was their leading goal kicker last year. And, boy, gee, he's got off the ground there. Well done.
So the Kangaroos away to a very good start. Lead by 19 points. And Collingwood got away to a very poor start last week against Hawthorn. Can they recover as they did against the Hawks? Grant out of the centre. Support from Makepeace. Loops it to Cochrane, who kicks it high towards half-foot. Big pack of players. Ball at ground level. Jones, good desperate play coming from the Collingwood defence. Picked up by Porter. Drives it long to the goal square. Freeport, clever. Used his body well against Sinclair and takes a relieving mark.
Just think he'll have too much body strength for Jess Sinclair. Sinclair more of a winger, not a permanent forward.
Paul Curia's got the football. Looking for Prestigiacomo. Kick again was just a bit long. Richards. In fact, it was Podsy Ardley. Had it and lost it, but Collingwood, fortunately, keep the football. It's Clement on the right. Goes long. Buckley's there, lurking in the back of the pack. Free kick, though. Whistle on play for shepherding. And it's going to be taken by Adam Simpson. That's the advantage being played. No, the umpire says come back. So Shannon Grant.
I think that's a really tough call against Nathan Buckley. Nathan Buckley protected Lockyer in the marking contest, and the umpire said he shepherded. I think that's a very tough call.
Harvey's got the football as he spots up Sinclair just outside the defensive 50. Now Harvey, the ball carrier to the wing, looking for Pickett. Just a bit too much juice on the kick. Back of the pack is Cloak. Oh, Rocker lined him up. Good courage from young Cloak. Stood his ground. Pickett paddles. Here's a chance for Sav. Rocker's got the football. No one to kick to, so he goes long for home. Licuria is the only man back, and he'll mop up for Collingwood.
Paul Curia, short, Lockyer, on defensive 50. Kick to Davis, just the 15 metres as required in this competition. Licuria, now he is called to play on.
Red alert already. Shannon Grant, 6 disposals in a 10-minute period. He's playing loose across half-back midfield for the Kangaroos.
Malloy, his first touch of the football for season 2002. Kinnear drives it long towards Buckley, and the ball just touched before it's over the boundary line on the 50-metre line. for the Magpies.
Robert, what do you do now? Do you make a change?
Well, I think Mick Malthouse, he just can't afford to let Grant, who's such a clever player, and he's a go-to player, they'll give the ball to Grant at every opportunity, the Kangaroos, because they respect him so much.
Porter in front, wins it down, fights hard, ground level. Cochrane, little kick off the ground is okay. Martin, there's that man again, Shannon Grant. Drives it long inside the centre square. Cloak and Pickett, well played by Cloak, but equally well played by Pickett. McCartney drives to a vacant goal square. Where will it bounce? It sits on an end like one of your 9-irons, Rob Walls.
Backspin.
And Mercuria is able to relieve the pressure by knocking it through for a behind.
Oh, Tiger Woods would have loved that one.
I'm just keeping an eye on Shannon Grant, and he is just going wherever he likes. At the moment, he hasn't got a direct opponent. So a bit of Russian roulette, if you like, because both coaches have got a free player. But Grant has picked up 7 touches early in this game.
All Kangaroos at the moment 3-3 to 1 behind. Lockyer prepares to bring the ball back into play. Target is Richardson, and he doesn't let him down.
And Lockyer did a smart thing there. His short kick was mucked up earlier, and he just played the percentages. He said, I'll just get a 50-55 metre kick going and just settle myself down with the kicking job.
Freeborn on the screen. Handball's out wide. Cloak. Oh, it's a terrible turnover by Cloak. He's found McCartney.
Well,
direct opposite.
Not only was it a bad kick, but it went to his direct opponent.
So McCartney looking for Archer. There's a whistle on play. It's a push. It's an advantage. It's going to Kangaroos' way. Sinclair has a pot shot. And the Roos have got their 4th. Well, they're giving him a bit of a toweling at the moment. 4 goals, 3-27 to Collingwood, 1 behind.
And again, we'll have a look at this. The McCartney kick, it's long. It's into the dangerous area in the forward 50. Perfect crumbing position by Jess Sinclair. We saw 2 Magpies go up, only against 1 Kangaroo. Sinclair stayed down. He was in the front spot where the ball was most likely to go. He read it to perfection.
What a great start by the Kangaroos. They lead by 26 points. And a bad turnover by Jason Cloak.
Buckley's put himself into the action, Michael. He's gone back in for this centre bounce.
McKee up early. He gets a kick out of the congestion. Buckley will be first there. He's 60 metres from goal. Needs an option. Has one from Tarrant. And kicks in that direction and finds him.
It was just a magnificent bit of football because Tarrant was back in the goal square. He led early. He got the break on his opponent, young Baird. And Buckley just showed plenty of poise to swivel round onto his right boot and put the ball into the path of the leading player.
And Nathan Buckley, we expect the poise, and that was a beautiful delivery. Chris Tarrant, 40 metres, directly in front. And you can see the kick on screen. First goal to the Magpies. So Collingwood have their first goal. Margin back to 20 points. And Rob Walls, we just watched Nathan Buckley, and he's got so much poise, hasn't he, when he has the football?
Well, I think he's one of the best kicks in the game. And what about that? Tarrant on the lead, up the middle, and it hit him out in front. Nothing that John Baird could do about that.
Collingwood gets its first, and a desperately needed one at that, as they narrow the margin back to 20 points. Give that one to Porter, tapped it in the path of Shannon Grant, but Buckley, magnificent pass before to Tarrant, has control of the football again. He goes to the 50. No go there for Pottiardly, as it's picked up by David King, who finds Glenn Archer. Archer on the right boot. To the 50, doing the roving is Leon Davis for Collingwood. Left footer. Couldn't find McKee. Shannon Grant. Deep into the pocket. McCartney underneath it. And takes a very solid chest mark in front of Richardson.
Well, Mark Richardson's finding it pretty hard in this first quarter. He started on Sav, now on McCartney.
McCartney to Harvey. He ran into the umpire, but that was the ump's fault. But it didn't matter anyway, because Harvey has kicked the Kangaroos' 5th. was another bad mix-up, Robert Walls. And gee, can the umpire be penalised for running into a player?
I don't think so. But again, just good sharing football by the Kangaroos. The ball was marked tight on the boundary line there by Jason McCartney. We saw him miss earlier on. He probably thought, I'd like to unload this. That wasn't 15 metres, so the umpire said play on. Harvey ran into the umpire. He was then able to straighten up, put it on the left boot and put it through.
Margin back to 26 points, and the Kangaroos have looked extremely impressive in this opening quarter. Porter decisively. Harris' handball went astray. Kinnear, Buckley in support. Handball just gets Lucuria, puts him under pressure, but his captain's there waiting for it. Kick around the body towards Malloy, strong hands. Jared Malloy playing his first game of the season, and he was a very good player in his first year for the Magpies, runner-up in their fairest and best. Kicks towards half-court, Archer going back, Porter coming across, and Kangaroos with the numbers. Baird has it, hard up against the boundary line. Archer. Porter would need to get rid of it quickly, but they've got numbers, and that's what wins out at the end of the day. Motlop on centre wing. Kick towards half-court, Holland courageous. Rocker kept his feet, well played. Handball searching and hoping. McCartney, he's wrapped up, well done by Holland, and Malloy comes in. Richardson, and he threads it along the boundary line, and Batheris takes it over.
Shannon Grant's opponent is Ben Kinnear. Kinnear just can't run with him, and even now you see Shannon Grant 20-30 metres off him. Pretty good contest there. I really like McCartney. He's a spirited player. He's been great for them at centre half back over the years. Maybe he could play it up forward.
Great hands by Simpson to make peace. Half-forward Rocker on the half volley. Coming through again, following up his own kick was Makepeace. Clement. Now the ball ends up with Leon Davis, another possession. Back to Clement at half back. Just no one really to kick to, and in the end he's put it out on the full. So not much going right for the Magpies at the moment. Here's the first Cyber coach question.
Is McCartney an option across half forward? Well, when you think about it, I reckon Carey and Sapp have to play in the forward 50 nowadays. McCartney could be the player who gives the strong contest across half forward for the Roos.
Davis. That's Nick Davis. The little delicate pass has found Chris Tarrant, and he will line up about 45 out for his second.
Because over the years, Archer's often been sent forward. Ooh, gee, pretty strong player, McCartney. I really like the way he plays his footy. Just gives it everything.
And in his early Collingwood days, he was used as a shock option up forward and did particularly well by Lee Matthews. So he certainly can play in the area.
Chris Tarrant has kicked one. It's a beautiful kick. And that's number 2 for Tarrant and the Magpies. Kangaroos, 5-3-33 Collingwood. Both goals to that man, Chris Tarrant, 2-1-13.
And we just heard Michael Christian say that McCartney was used as a shock option up forward. We'll just have a look at this. Just good football by the Pies out of the centre to the leading Tarrant. And that's his go on the lead. But you said he was a shock option. I heard you were a shock option up forward at stages.
A real shock. So there's that Cyber coach question again. Is Jason McCartney an option across half forward? He certainly looks like one tonight. He's been a pivotal player in this first quarter for the Kangaroos. They lead by 20 points. Richards on the ground deftly. Buckley hoists it high to half forward. Coming across Batheris, couldn't quite grasp it. King, oh, he missed the bump from Malloy, Lane and Martin. Wobbles it out of defence only as far as Richardson. And that was a poor kick from Martin. Richardson swings out wide. Podsiadly is marked on centre wing. Collingwood need another goal or two, you would think, before quarter time. Clement delivers inside attacking 50. Tarrant got hands to it. Can't complete the mark. Motlop, Harris fighting for the Kangaroos. Now Makepeace. Threads a handball through the congested pack brilliantly in the end of Motlop. And the Kangaroos have played very well in their defensive zone tonight. Kick towards half forward. Over the head of Prestigiacomo and Rocker. Pickett goes onto it. He has one bounce. Oh, he's got too much pace. He you won't see more exciting play than that from Byron Pickett. And Robert Walsh, well, that was inspiring stuff.
Let's have a look at it. This is Pagan's paddock. The entire 50-metre forward area is vacant. The ball's kicked long over the top. Player runs onto it with the pace of a Byron Pickett or a Harvey or a King, and that's the end result.
Byron Pickett wins the foot race and is rewarded with the goal. That's his second, and it's the Kangaroos 6-3 to Collingwood 2-1. Spectacular play. Out of the middle, here come the Roos again. It's Harris, ineffective on this occasion, as Lucuria gets it out to Richardson. Makepeace against Betheris. Boundary line beats them both.
And Andrew Hill playing his first game for the Maggies. He's on Byron Pickett. He's had a couple of goals kicked against him, but Mick Malthouse will persevere with the young fellow because it's all a learning experience.
Porter against Richards. Beautiful roving by Grant for the Kangaroos to the wing. And over the line it goes. Clayton just couldn't control it. Good effort by Cloak to harass Byron Pickett. What a spectacular goal that was. Just showing magnificent speed. And there's the leading possession getters in this game so far. Grant 9 leading the way. Here come the Roos again. Clayton around the body. Rocker, one out. Well done by Prestigiacomo. Backed himself. Did it beautifully. Magpie's out of trouble. Lucuria. Short in the middle and finds Kinnear. Lucuria once again to the 50. Tarrant, beautiful pass and a good mark. And he's off and running. Tarrant runs to 45 and has kicked his third. No, what's happened here? It's a free kick. Well, he kicked a goal and it's for a Shepherd, and Jared Malloy cannot believe it.
Gee, it was good play by Tarrant, even though the goal's not going to stand. He took his third mark on the lead, played on automatically, kicked the goal, disallowed because Jared Malloy shepherded Mick Malloy away from the ball. Umpires are red hot on the shepherding now.
Kangaroos work it out of their defence. Lang, Grant, now Cochrane in the midfield with some space. Delivers towards half-forward Rocker. Can't take the chest mark, the one he should have. Prestigiacomo, good recovery. Cloak cedes some ground to Davis. It's a Nick Davis. Good shepherding behind play from Jason Cloak. Delivers to half-forward Tarrant again. Well, he's on fire tonight, Chris Tarrant. He's been prominent early, wants to give it to his captain and does. Buckley has to prop. Kick brilliantly smothered by Harris. Harris, superb play. Simpson, kick around the body is poor. Hill drops a mark, but plenty of time to recover. Potts-Yardley is marked between wing and half-forward.
Flooded back the Kangaroos. Plenty of them in their defensive 50.
He drives towards Freeborn, the only Magpie there. Davis snap is good, I think, or has it hit the post? It's hit the post. Well, opportunist play, couldn't quite convert. Close to quarter time. Margin back to 25 points in favour of the Kangaroos.
And we have a look on screen there. That's the Kangaroos forward line. There is not one player in their forward 50. So Pagan's paddock operating at its best.
Motlop for the Kangas goes to the wing. Finds McCartney.
Only Sav inside the forward 50 at the moment.
McCartney bangs it long. Sinclair, can he get there? No. Well done again by Prestigiacomo, who smashes it over the boundary line for a throw in about 40 metres out from the Kangaroos goal. Here's this free kick we were talking about earlier. Tarrant kicked his third, but it was disallowed. Little chop across the chops there.
Wasn't necessary, was it?
Unnecessary, totally unnecessary. It cost the team a goal.
Good umpiring.
Wasn't a shepherd, it was just a whack to the chops.
So be dirty on himself, Joe Malloy, letting down the team with something like that.
Wouldn't have worried Mick Martin, no.
Freeborn to Lucuria to Lockyer. Good running out of defence by the Magpies. Buckley. Well done by Simpson. Now Buckley gets it back. Clever kick around the body. Running onto it is Holland. And he'll go back and kick from about 45 metres out.
And this is the slim look, Brodie Holland. He's lost a lot of weight, and he's told the coach, I want to play in the midfield. I don't want to be considered a forward pocket specialist. That's what he was with the Dockers. And good play there by Buckley. He knew where he was, and he just waited that ball for Holland to run onto. And he does look fitter, looks leaner, and wants to add another string to his bow by being able to play in the midfield.
Well, taking into account all the statistics, the positives and the negatives at the moment, Chris Grant is leading the player. Shannon Grant is leading the player rankings, just ahead of Chris Tarrant. And the kick by Holland has just missed. And there he is, the man leading the rankings at the moment, Shannon Grant. Another feature of our telecast this year.
Harvey, Motlop, called to play on. Loops it, handball to Clayton. Still at half-back, Shane Clayton. Wobbles a kick towards the wing. Porter, fist coming from Clement. Robbins on the ground. Kick around the body. McCartney, geez, play well in his opening quarter. Jason McCartney, Prestigiacomo. Oh, Pickett smothered the cloak handball brilliantly. Richardson ties it up, and he'll get a free kick for a high tackle. Byron Pickett has been dynamic in his opening quarter. Lockyer wants to get around Harris and doesn't, and will be called for dropping the ball. And Tarkin Lockyer, a couple of bad mistakes in this opening quarter. Strong players. The siren for quarter time sounds, and the Kangaroos now. Harris is going to have a shot. He is 75 metres from goal.
Have to be a torpedo.
He loads it and he gets onto it, but it's still 30 metres short. So at quarter time, it's the Kangaroos by 24 points. The Kangaroos 6-3-39. Collingwood 2-3-15. And Rob Walls, you could only help be impressed by the Kangaroos in that opening stanza.
Look, they were terrific, and they had McCartney giving a real contest across half forward, Sav taking some good marks, Jess Sinclair lively in the forward line, and of course Shannon Grant just blitzed in the middle.
So quarter time, it is the Kangaroos leading by 4 goals.